blasting off to the stars tonight. We wanna go, go. We wanna go, go. We're driving cars on a Mars tonight. We're blasting off to the stars tonight. We wanna go, go. We wanna go, go.
You can, however, touch the important button if you want.
What's that?
The whole reason you buy a Mark 1. So, introducing my girlfriend's 1989 Mark 1 MX5. It's been off the road for quite a long time, so it's got no MOT, and there's a few things wrong with it. So let's take a quick walk around the car and see what it's like. 1989 in British racing green, with the tan interior, and the wooden steering wheel and handbrake cover. It is an automatic, which obviously I don't favour, but hopefully she gets on with it alright. It is a 1.6, it's just had the timing belt done, which is a bonus, and it's got aircon, so I'm sure she'll love that. The engine bay itself doesn't look too bad at all, very minimal rust in here, and the radiator isn't brown. As you can see, the paintwork is pretty faded, but I gave it a small polish right here, and most of it's going to come up pretty good. It came with some Lotus 16-inch alloys, but came with a tyre size that really isn't common anymore. And as you can see, it needs 2 new back tyres. So I think these alloys are going to go, but the problem with that is there's a lock nut, but no key. So that's going to be the first challenge. So on to some other issues. It's missing both its wing mirrors, so they've got to be replaced. This weather strip on the door is pretty rusty. Only a minor inconvenience, but that could be sorted at a later date. The driver's door has a bit of a problem. It doesn't close, and the door handle is not working, but I think that could be an easy fix. The driver's window is held up with a bit of wood, and the broken door card is in the boot. The passenger window also isn't working. The interior is in dire need of a deep clean. The aerial's broken and missing, but someone has kindly put a new soft top on. So at least that's one battle I don't have to fight. It did come with a mouse trap and wind deflector, but that actually wasn't attached. I'm not particularly happy about her having a mouse trap, so that's going in the bin. Excuse the tools, I'm trying to do another job, but there is a horrible rip speed exhaust tip, which is just bolted on. That is being ripped off. I actually do like the original spoiler. In the boot, we've got most of the door card for the driver's side, but no battery. We'll probably just get a G19 tie down for an 063 battery. Other than a couple of spots of rust on the inner sills, both sides, and a little dent back there, it's actually a really good car. So I'm not actually going to be doing a lot of work on this car. She's bought this to learn some stuff for herself. I'm just going to give her a hand every now and then when she needs it, and to do stuff that she can't do herself, like the welding. And that's the first job I want to get out of the way. So I'm going to set her with the task of removing the seats and some other panels and getting that carpet out of the way, so I could get underneath and remove that rust. Fingers crossed she gets on okay. Oh, and I better get those lock nuts removed and find some different tyres for her. So, quick update, I've actually been working on a car outside of the garage, and I left her to getting on with getting the seats out. She's done well, got them both out, got all the trims out, and moved the carpet out of the way. I'm pretty proud of her, as that's the first real mechanical thing she's ever done. So the driver's seat ain't too bad, but I'll get her to pick up the passenger seat and I'll show you what's going on underneath. Pretty rusty. That was so rusty that the sliders didn't move. Now it's time for me to get these lock and wheel nuts off. I think I found the lock nut for the car. I've had that soaking in vinegar as it was rusty and unrecognisable. Hopefully it is the right one for the car, and hopefully it fits now. Let's give it a go. Do you want to give the lock nut a go?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah?
Where is it?
It's there.
Yay.
Give it a little shake. Yeah.
Well, it's better than it did look.
Give it a little wire brush. Do you want to see whether it fits on? There you go. Make sure it's set to off, because it's on at the minute. Just make sure you keep pressure on it, on that way, and then pull up.
Oh, well, that was significantly easier than I expected it to be.
You could probably do it with your fingers now. There you go.
So these are literally barely done up.
Well, that's a good thing for us, because they're not going back on. Just 3 more to go.
Yay!
So some numpty has put the original wheel nuts into aftermarket wheels. So you can't fit an alloy socket in there. So I'm having to use a thin wall 3/8. And even that only just fits. That's a good job. I've got a long 3/8 ratchet. Go, go. Yeah.
Oh, is that okay?
That was probably the tightest one of them all. Yeah, so strong. All up in the air now and safely on some axle stands, and all the wheels are off, so I can take them to have the tyres stripped off, and she's decided she's going to sell the wheels. They are actually off an old Lotus Elise, so I'm sure someone somewhere will want these, but they're just not for her. We took a good look underneath and the rust isn't as bad as we thought. There's one little patch down in the middle and just the front of the sill, so nothing too major. When she first got the car, I noticed that the driver's rear was a lot lower than the rest of the car. And I explained to her if there's anything wrong with the suspension, it's actually cheaper and more viable just to buy a set of coilovers. And would you look at that? The driver's rear coil is completely snapped. It's actually snapped in 3 places. Some new discs and pads are definitely needed, but the rest of the suspension doesn't look too bad. So she's going to pick herself some coilovers, and I'm going to get started on the welding. And because the front of the sill is rusty, I know this wing's got to come off. So a week and a half later, and my garage is an absolute mess. We've been really busy and I've been letting her do most of the things. So the front wings, both of them are off. Not that they were held on by much. The bottoms had completely rusted away. The front 2 bolts snapped, but I managed to find my replacement wings. They're gone off for paint, as I have no room to paint it. I've been underneath for a week solid and everything's welded up. I think we've temporarily managed to save this seat. She got off as much rust as she could. We've freed the runners up so that moves. And she's just given it a lick of paint. So that'll do her for now until she finds new seats. We later found out that all 4 springs were broken and 1 damper. So we've installed some coilovers with some coilover covers. We're not sure what sort of height this is going to come out to, but we can't really get the car on the floor at the minute, as the wheels are still at my work. But while we were installing the front coilovers, I found both the front lower ball joints completely destroyed, and the track rod ends, they're destroyed too. They need changing. I've already done the ball joints. We've still got the rear coilovers to put in. They're ready to go in. The driver's door had some issues. Luckily, I've got a spare and in the right colour. So that's got to go on. I was just waiting to finish the welding first. I gave her a little surprise and polished this door up, as she was a little bit worried the car wouldn't clean up. It's a bit dusty at the minute, but I think it turned out pretty good. But we've still got a way to go before this is MOT worthy. Things like the coolant hoses, some of them are leaking, so we've picked her up a Stoney race and silicone hose kit. There's no battery in the boot anymore, but I've got her a G19 battery clamp down for an 063 battery, so that'll go in soon. Once I've installed the rear coilovers, it's then time for a new set of discs and pads all round, and then I think the car can finally go back on the floor. So I think I'm going to put the camera down for a while, as I'm helping her quite a lot off of camera, so she can learn a few things. Hopefully once the rear coilovers are on, I'll pick the camera back up again. And it's also pretty difficult to film with such a mess. Catch you in a minute.
Wee.
So with a little bit of help and guidance from me, she installed the rear coilovers, and I think she done a pretty damn good job. A fresh set of discs and pads on the front, which were very much needed.
It's going.
We also made sure all the sliders were nice and clean and free moving. New discs and pads on the rear as well. We did actually end up doing a brake fluid change off of camera, as that really needed it. There you go, keep going. Slide that on, slide it on. Yep, now swing it down. There you go. In between jobs, she managed to remove the window wipers and give them a lick of paint. All while I was removing the front bumper and really fighting with it. The next job is to get this steering wheel off, as it's really seen better days. Hopefully we can refurbish that as good as new, as I'm sure when it's clean it will really suit the car. The window wipers are back on with a fresh set of blades and looking pretty good. So she started sanding down that loose lacquer on the steering wheel, ready for that to be refurbished. And I've made a good start on the silicone hose kit. I was just doing the hoses, which were pretty hard to do, and left her with the rest. So that last clip was just over 2 weeks ago, and I'm not really sure where I left off. I'm obviously now back from holiday, and since that last clip a few things have changed. So I'm going to be splitting this video into two halves, as I've now got to get the Mark II ready for the dyno. So I finally found my replacement wings. They're the wings I picked up when I picked up Peppy, the Mark I. Charlie has kindly repainted these for us, and they are looking really good. They're not fully bolted on yet, but they were just put there for safety while I was away on holiday. So we've also got some replacement wheels. These are just temporary. These are my old drift wheels that I quickly rattle canned a nice bronze colour for her. And we've got 4 brand new tyres. So the bumper's still off. That needs a little bit of work. I need to grind a stud out. Then that could go back on the car. We're halfway through doing a silicone hose kit. That's not quite finished. We've managed to get the steering wheel and the handbrake cover off. Charlie is re-clear coating them at the minute for us. But as you can see, still a lot of work to be done. So join me on the next video on my other half's Mark I, where hopefully we're getting it on the road. As per usual, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one.
We wanna